my W4, starting it, and I turned it over a bit, and then I tried to turn it over again. Nothing. Either my starter buttons went, or I got suspicions of my battery cables. These cables like this, these ends like this, are often troublesome. So I'm gonna put proper solder on. I'm gonna change this one. It's too light for a 6-volt system, really. So I'm gonna change the one cable out, and then I'm going to put a new end on this one. We'll see if that fixes it. Yeah, this had to have something, like the whole thing, you could see it wiggling. Let's try it and see if it turns now that I wiggled that. You see, I heard it spark, so I suspect these are my problem. Okay, I got some new cable. This is #1 welding cable. If you go in that size, it's too big to go where it's got to go. So #1 is the same size as the original cable about. And with 6-volt, yeah, the bigger the better, but in this case, this is as big as I could go. So what I'll do is I'll get a little extra, like you don't want too much, you don't want things hanging down looking like heck, but give her just a tiny bit extra so you got some latitude. And then I'll chop it off. Okay, now I'll build the new cable. Okay, I get a strip. My cable about 3/4 of an inch. There we go. This is positive. I want negative because it's positive ground, so negative is the hot wire. Always go a little bigger. This is for one hot wire, so always go with a bigger end than your cable for this. I heat the bottom. Once it's warm enough, the solder will melt. There's no problem there. I feel about half full and the solder and the cable should displace it. So it just about runs out. Not quite enough. I like to have more solder than that. Like to have enough solder that it actually runs out, so to give you a good sealed connection. There it is. Then I just let her cool off for a couple minutes till it adheres, and then got a little smoke. I cut that a little bit short, but and the insulation smokes a bit, but it will work. I think it's bonded now, so I'll take this off and repeat on the other side. I'm over halfway, so I'll have some solder spill over, which, yeah, that means there's wastage, but at least it means there's a sealed, tight connection. It's a watertight connection this way, and to me that's more important than the solder that I wasted. Solder's not cheap, but building battery cables, more battery cables than you need is more expensive yet. And now that it's hot, I'm gonna just bend this over a bit. want to bend this a little bit over so it works better on the W4. There we go. Yeah, it should still swing, but there's the cable right there. They used a little shrink tubing on this, and I don't have any, so I just gotta use electrical tape. Is it aesthetically pleasing? No, but does work all right. It does the job. Right now, that's all that matters. Put the cable in place. I bent this a little bit much, and now I'm gonna have to, I can straighten it a bit. There you go. Get a socket on. We'll tighten her up. I put the power wire underneath. The one that operates the starter I think is okay. I don't think that's the problem. There we go. So that's hooked up. Because this is the working wire, the negative on this case, it's not, this is, remember these are positive ground, so your negative is your hot wire. I could actually hook this side of the battery up. Because you want to hook your ground last. What's wrong with that cable? It's plenty good enough for a ground. I don't have to, this is crimped on properly. I think you'll be okay, so I'll make this one. I don't need to show me soldering this, so I'll make it and put her on. We'll see if it works. And cool off, but one thing you gotta do with your solder, this is a rosin core solder. That's what you use for electrical, and you just want to crimp this so the cord doesn't run out of the solder. I overlooked something. This is a 3/8 hole. This bolt is 7/16, so I gotta drill it out. There. What's wrong with that? That old cable worked just fine for a ground. Now, the last thing I gotta do is just see if it works. I'm gonna try and start this time. Nope. Must be my switch. Okay. I'm gonna just short the switch and see if I get any life there. It should try at least. Yeah, there is some spark. Yeah. So I don't want to try and start it like that, but at least we know that the problem's in the switch now and nowhere else. But the cables have to be done. The cables would be a source of trouble in the future. So I gotta get a switch and we'll try her again. Guys sometimes carry some parts for the old tractors like starter switches, so we'll see what they got. TV Mart is hitting this sometimes for parts. But they do have some stuff like these are good to get a hold of. Ah, look at there. They do have a starter switch. I don't think this is in the right spot. It says fuel cap for Ford, but according to this it's $21.99. That's in the wrong spot, so who knows, we'll find out when we pay for it. Which was actually $21.99. Okay, we're hooked up. The switch is on. It's a magneto, so I don't pay much attention to that. If you had a distributor, you'd want that shut off pretty quick. I think I fixed it. It was the switch, but the cables weren't helping.